Imagine walking into like a massive public library. You walk up to the front desk, ask the librarian for information on how to train a French bulldog, and
Pretty standard request, really.
right. But instead of pointing you to an aisle or handing you a stack of books, the librarian just stares at you, recites a perfect 5-paragraph summary of the best training methods, burns all the books on the subject, and politely asks you to leave.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. As a visitor, you got your answer instantly. But if you were one of the authors who spent months writing those books, well, your entire livelihood just went up in smoke.
What's fascinating here is that this is the exact existential dread rippling through the digital publishing world right now. As we analyze the landscape on this specific date, July 6, 2026, we're seeing that the internet's basic social contract has been entirely rewritten.
Welcome to the deep dive. For you, the listener, we are unpacking a stack of sources today anchored on the SEO Daily Technology Report from July 6, 2026.
Which is packed with some incredible data.
It really is.
Yeah.
And whether you're running an e-commerce store, building a brand, or you're just trying to figure out how human knowledge is actually discovered online in 2026, this is your guide. Because you know that blinking cursor inside a blank rectangular search box?
The one we relied on for 25 years.
Exactly. The one that used to give us 10 blue links, it's gone. As of the global rollout at Google I/O on May 19th, 2026, AI mode is the default. We aren't searching anymore. We're just, conversing with Gemini 3.5 Flash.
Which fundamentally breaks the old routing mechanism of the web. Historically, a search engine was just a middleman, right? Its only job was to send traffic to a destination.
Yeah, you click a link and go somewhere else.
Exactly. But now the interface expands as you type. It pulls in images, analyzes your open Chrome tabs, and synthesizes answers on the fly. It is operating as a destination in itself.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Okay.
Because the hard data in this July 6 report is staggering. The conversational format has triggered what analysts are calling the zero-click search crisis. We are looking at an estimated 93% zero-click rate.
It's massive.
Wait, hold on. 93%. That sounds apocalyptic for small blogs or independent creators. Are you saying they're just entirely cut out of the ecosystem now?
For a huge subset of informational queries, yes. The AI is satisfying the user's intent entirely on the search stage. The report highlights a massive Pew Research study tracking nearly 69,000 real user searches to prove this.
That's a serious sample size.
Right. And they found that when an AI summary appears at the top of the page, users click a traditional website link only 8% of the time.
Just 8%.
Yeah. And if there is no AI summary, that click-through rate is 15%. So you're looking at a massive 47% relative drop in traffic.
So nearly half your traffic just vanishes if the AI steps in. If I'm a listener running a digital business as of July 2026, I'm probably sweating. But there's a weird paradox in these sources.
Search volume, right?
Yes. Total search volume is hit an all-time high. People are searching more, they just aren't clicking.
Because the friction of discovery has vanished. Users are asking longer, highly complex, multi-part questions. The critical implication for anyone managing a web presence right now in July 2026 is at the old gold standard.
Ranking #1 in the 10 blue links.
Exactly. That is effectively meaningless if the query triggers an AI answer. No one is scrolling past a comprehensive AI synthesis to click your link.
Then what's the new position 1? Like, if the librarian is reading the answer out loud, how do I make sure it's my book they're reading from?
By securing a citation. That tiny hyperlink bracket embedded inside the AI-generated text is the new battleground. If your brand or your data isn't cited within the AI's response, well, you don't exist to the 93% of users who never click away.
This brings up the multi-million-dollar question. How does an AI algorithm actually decide who gets that coveted citation? In the old days, you could just stuff the phrase French Bulldog training into your web page 20 times, right?
Yeah, build some spammy backlinks and you were good to go.
Right. I assume the AI isn't falling for that.
Not at all. The AI is completely blind to old school keyword density. We have fully transitioned to entity SEO. Generative models understand the world in terms of entities like people, places, corporations.
And the relationships between them.
Exactly. They are looking for recognized authorities. Cyrus Shepard analyzed over 400 winning and losing websites in the wake of the AI Overviews rollout. And the single biggest predictor of organic traffic gains was a strong, ubiquitous brand presence.
Here's where it gets really interesting. It sounds like you're saying SEO and traditional public relations are now the exact same thing.
They have entirely merged. But the mechanics of why PR matters have changed. The AI isn't, reading a press release to see if humans feel warmly about your brand.
What, it doesn't care about feelings?
No, it is cross-referencing the URL of that PR mention against a massive mathematical trust graph. It treats brand reputation as an equation. It wants to see your entity mentioned across high-trust news sites, active forum discussions, social mentions.
So if those signals are missing, the AI models just categorize you as unreliable and exclude you. And it isn't just Google playing this game either. If I'm looking at the broader landscape on July 6, 2026, building an entity for just one search engine seems incredibly short-sighted.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it is entirely insufficient. The report explicitly warns that optimizing solely for Google means abandoning half of the ecosystem. We are in the era of generative engine optimization.
GEO.
Right, GEO.
Multi-engine SEO. Because the end user might be asking Perplexity or ChatGPT or Claude. And reading through this GEO data, what blows my mind is that these different AIs want entirely different things.
Think of GEO as feeding different diets to different AI models.
Okay, I like that.
So if your strategy relies on Perplexity citations, your content must emphasize extreme recency and highly authoritative external links. Perplexity functions like an academic researcher.
While ChatGPT favors conversational depth, it wants strong EEAT signals experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. It wants to know you have real-world experience.
Right. And Claude. Claude emphasizes nuanced, well-reasoned content. It wants you to explore multiple sides of an argument. You can't just publish a fluff piece and expect Claude to cite it.
But trying to perfectly format a single website to please an academic, a conversationalist, and a debater all at once, that sounds impossible.
Which is why the web infrastructure is adapting under the hood. Consider the rapid adoption of the LLMS.text standard mentioned in the July 2026 sources.
Oh man, I saw that. I need you to explain how this actually works. Historically, we used a robots.txt file just to tell search engines what they were allowed to scan. What makes LLMS.text different?
Rather than just giving permission, it acts as a curated map designed specifically for large language models. A webmaster places this LLMS.txt file in their site's root directory.
Okay.
And when an AI crawler arrives, this file basically says, skip the marketing fluff, skip the visual layouts. Here are the clean, verified, plain text facts about my brand.
So you were spoon-feeding the AI the exact data you wanted to use in its summaries.
Exactly. It's a direct guide.
It's like a VIP lane for data extraction. And the report notes that 5 to 15% of major websites have already adopted it by this July 2026 report, which is lightning fast.
It is moving fast because the stakes are shifting. We've spent the first half of this deep dive discussing how AI reads our content. But the paradigm is moving to a phase where the AI stops reading and starts acting.
This brings us to WebMCP, the Web Model Context Protocol. If the zero-click crisis was the earthquake, this feels like the tsunami following right behind it.
It is arguably the most consequential architectural shift we've seen. Co-developed by Google and Microsoft, WebMCP is currently operating as an origin trial in Chrome 149 as of this July 6 report.
Let's translate this for the listener. In the past, if a user told their AI assistant, hey, book me a flight to Chicago, the AI had to clumsily pretend to be a human.
Right, trying to read the HTML and click a button.
Yeah, trying to locate the Buy Now button or fill out a form, and it usually broke because website layouts changed constantly.
The visual web was built for human eyes, not for software agents. WebMCP completely bypasses the visual interface. Instead of forcing the AI to click around, the website exposes its core functions, booking a ticket, adding an item to a cart as structured tools.
So it hands the AI a direct VIP API pass. The AI just calls a JavaScript function in the background.
Precisely.
But wait, giving an autonomous AI a VIP pass to execute backend functions. What if the AI misunderstands the intent and books, like 500 dentist appointments by mistake?
Well, security is exactly why WebMCP requires strict parameters. The protocol forces the website to define exactly what inputs are allowed. But the larger SEO implication isn't about the AI making a mistake. It was about being completely invisible if you opt out.
Because if my competitor's website is WebMCP compliant, and mine isn't,
then an AI agent simply cannot interact with your business. If a user tells their assistant to book a plumber, the AI is only going to evaluate plumbers whose websites are agent-ready. Traditional search ranking becomes completely irrelevant.
That is terrifying. We are talking about an entirely new surface area for visibility. But with AI pulling our data for summaries and agents interacting with our systems, how do we maintain control? Like if my product prices changed yesterday and the AI is quoting last year's prices, I'm going to have furious customers.
Control is a major tension right now. The sources show some regulatory movement. Under a mandate from the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, Google actually launched a new toggle in Search Console in June 2026.
Oh, right. It lets publishers opt out of having their pages appear in AI overviews.
It does.
Which sounds like the perfect relief valve. You just flip the switch, say, don't summarize my stuff, and force the user to actually visit your site.
It is tempting, but industry analysts strongly caution against it. They say to measure first using the new Generative AI performance report. Don't just block it out of fear, or your competitors will gladly take that real estate.
Plus, there's that massive loophole you mentioned before.
The Gemini carve-out, yes. The standalone Gemini app sits entirely outside that toggle scope, meaning your content can still be summarized there anyway.
So hiding isn't a viable strategy. If the AI is going to summarize my business, how do I ensure it gets the absolute right facts?
By treating freshness as a verifiable technical signal, you can't just change the date at the top of a blog post to updated for 2026 anymore.
Right, the AI is actually checking the receipts now.
It's aggressively auditing your underlying code. AI systems programmatically detect stale content using schema.org markup, things like date modified, date published, and last reviewed.
So if it detects that a commercial page hasn't been technically validated recently, it flags it as stale and drops your citation. That's technical EEAT.
Exactly, which explains the explosion of the new 2026 tech stack detailed in the report.
Yeah, looking at these tools, it's wild. You have platforms like EEATClean and Ninja just to audit articles for outdated information.
And the rule of thumb now is you have to audit your top 20 pages by business value every single month.
And then look at the pricing. Semrush is charging around $120 a month, acting as an AI command center. Ahrefs is $99, updating their backlink index every 15 to 30 minutes with AI anomaly detection.
It's a lot to manage.
Surfer SEO is $69 just for real-time analysis of AI overview structures. How does a small business afford to play this game?
The barrier to entry has skyrocketed, undoubtedly. You are essentially being forced to optimize for traditional indexing and large language models simultaneously.
So if the text-based web is becoming this expensive, invisible data feed where AI agents just talk to AI crawlers, where do creators and brands go in July 2026 if they desperately need actual human eyeballs?
The sources point to a very clear escape hatch: video, specifically the Ask YouTube era.
Right. Because with Ask YouTube, the AI transcribes every single word spoken in a video to match user intent.
This raises an important question about how we create content now. Traditional metadata just doesn't cut it. Your natural language delivery and clear verbal explanations are the new SEO.
Because if a user asks a complex question, the AI knows exactly what you said in the video. So click-through rate, actually getting a human to click the thumbnail, totally eclipses keyword density.
It forces a return to genuine quality and clarity.
And the report outlines a golden ratio for this. The 2026 recommended content mix is 30% shorts and 70% long form.
Right, so that 30% in shorts is for top-of-funnel discovery, pulling in new viewers.
Well, the 70% long form is for building trust and revenue. And you have to cross-promote, right? Embed those videos into your LLMS.text optimized blogs.
Exactly. Feeding the entity signals across every format, it all connects.
So what does this all mean for the listener? To wrap this up, as of July 6, 2026, the game is no longer about tricking a search engine with keywords.
Not at all.
It's about building an undeniable entity, maintaining impeccable technical freshness, and preparing your site for AI agents, not just human eyes.
It's a profound shift, and if I can leave you, the listener, with a final provocative thought to mull over.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Consider the trajectory here. If AI summaries are taking 93% of the text queries, and WebMCP allows AI agents to do all our shopping and booking behind the scenes, are we rapidly approaching a future where human-facing web design becomes entirely obsolete?
Wow.
Will websites eventually just be raw data feeds meant purely for AI consumption, with only video platforms like YouTube left for actual human interaction?
A completely headless web. Just APIs talking to APIs. That is equal parts fascinating and terrifying. Well, thank you to the listener for joining us on this deep dive into the July 6, 2026 landscape. Stay curious, keep building that entity, and we will catch you next time.